Hey, Ray Charles. There he is.
Hit the road, Jackie. Let's come back. No more, no more, no more.
I want to show you guys a really simple recipe to get started in manual mode. Now, you might be wondering, why the heck do I want to shoot in manual when I've got this fancy schmancy digital camera that does a lot of that for me? Why do I need to take control of my camera when the camera is already pretty smart? Well, I know you, and I know there are lots of you who are kind of frustrated with the photos that you're getting from your camera. And the reason for that is your camera doesn't know the creative look that you're going for. Really, all it's trying to do is get a nice balanced exposure. It doesn't know if you want to blur the background or if you want everything in focus. It doesn't know if you want to freeze fast-moving subjects or if you want to capture some subject blur. It doesn't know any of that. So in order to get some creative control over our camera, we need to shoot in manual mode and tell the camera what to do. I don't want to explain every aspect to manual mode. What I want to do is just give you a foundation to build on so that you can start experimenting and start learning how to shoot in manual mode.
Let's start by rotating the mode dial to the letter M, which stands for manual mode. Then we're going to set the shutter speed to 1/320. The final step is to adjust the aperture, and we want to lower this all the way down to the lowest possible aperture f number.
Now, what's cool about this recipe is that we have two of the main ingredients fixed. So your shutter speed is locked into place, your aperture is locked into place, and the only variable that we're going to adjust is ISO. It's going to allow us to brighten a photo or darken a photo depending on the look that we're going for. And I'm going to do it in a couple different scenarios. Right now, we're going to start in this indoor low light situation. And actually outdoors right now, the sun keeps going in and out of the clouds. So this is going to be a really good test to find out the right ISO to get the right amount of brightness on my subject today, which is going to be my old film camera.
Now, obviously you can see here things are just way too dark. So we're going to fix that. First, find the exposure indicator on the back of your camera. This is going to give us kind of a clue of where to set our ISO. In this case, I upped my ISO to 800, and that set the little indicator towards the middle, which is the goal. So if you go too high or too low, you can adjust that and get the right shot. Cool, so we can see here how bright and detailed this photo is, especially compared to the first shot. In this scenario, I'm out on my back deck with some shade, and I'm using the same settings as before. And whoa, you can see how much brighter this is. So in order to fix that, I'm gonna lower my ISO from 800 to 200, and boom, you can see here by lowering the ISO, we brought down the brightness a bit to give us a nicely balanced exposure.
You might run into a scenario in really bright sunlight where things still come out really bright, even with this manual mode recipe. So in that case, if you have your ISO all the way down at 100 and you can't go any lower, the next step is to increase the shutter speed. This will also help bring down the brightness a bit and help you get a nicely balanced exposure.
In this scenario, the sun is really beating down on my subject, so things are incredibly bright with our manual mode recipe. Since we can't go any lower with the ISO, the only way we can fix the brightness is by increasing the shutter speed to get a nicely balanced exposure.
Well, there you have it, a really simple recipe to get started in manual mode. If you enjoy this kind of recipe video, let me know in the comments. That way, going forward, I'll create more of these kinds of videos to show you how to set up your camera for different subjects and scenes. If you want to get started today, I actually have some cheat sheets that I developed for many of the popular Canon and Nikon cameras. I'm also working on Sony, Panasonic, and Fujifilm. They're to come here in 2017. But if you want to go ahead and check those out, head on over to my website, which is cameratips.com. You'll find the links there. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Happy clicking. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more.